Yo, YouTube, I'm back with another reaction video, and today we have most viewed courtroom moments of all time. So these gotta be people acting a donkey in the courtroom, you feel me? Can't wait to see what this is about. Hope y'all having a good day, a good week. Finish the week strong, you feel me? Yeah, that's it. Without saying too much, this is a reaction video. So if you want the other video, you go find it yourself. I'm sick of y'all weirdos. It's a reaction video. It's my reaction video. Enough said. Let's get into it.
This is Jeremy Christian.
Jeremy Christian
who was found guilty of murdering 2 people in Portland, Oregon. Christian was on a packed train when he suddenly broke out on a racial rant towards 2 young women. You can see bystanders step in to attempt to stop Christian. Unfortunately, the situation escalated and Christian stabbed and killed 2 men and seriously wounding a 3rd. You can see Christian fleeing the crime scene. Passengers of the train followed him and he was arrested about a mile away.
Good.
During the arrest, you can see Christian in the back of the patrol car.
I'm happy as a mother. Hopefully this mother died.
Christian was later found guilty of 2 counts of murder and attempted murder. Now at the sentencing, one of the victims delivers a victim impact statement, and this is where Christian has an outburst.
To Mr. Jeremy Christian, your mom should have swallowed you. You are a waste of breath. And when you die and go to hell, I hope you rot.
See you there.
Dang.
You ain't gonna be there either.
What's wrong with his hair?
After Christian is escorted out of the courtroom, the judge sentenced him to 2 consecutive life terms, plus more than 25 years for his other convictions.
Bro, imagine hating someone's skin color that bad where you just feel like you gotta kill him. Just imagine that. This is something we cannot control. Nobody in the world can control that. You were born this way. Imagine hating somebody because of this. That is sick. And not only that, 2 men stood up for what's right. And unfortunately, they got their life taken because they didn't see life the same way as this racist did. So he decided to take their life. That's tough. That kind of put you in a tough position. Like, I'm always on the stance of mind your own business. Mind your own business, you feel me? But if somebody is doing something wrong, I think you should step in, especially protect a woman. You should do that. But these 2 dudes protected a woman and they lost their life over it. Maybe they should have just sat there and mind their business. Maybe they'll still be here with us. I don't know. That's kind of a tough call to say, you know, but just weird. You know, I feel like they died the right way. That sounds crazy, but they stood up. They died for something that's right, if that makes sense. I'm just gonna play the video. Y'all know what I'm trying to say.
This is Daniel Villegas. He spent 18 years in prison for a double homicide he never committed. In El Paso, Texas, Villegas was arrested at 16, where an El Paso detective reportedly threatened him with beatings and the death penalty if he did not confess. And the teenage Villegas signed a confession that was prepared by the detectives. He tried to withdraw his confession a few hours after, but by then it was too late. He was charged with 2 counts of capital murder. With the false confession being the only piece of evidence, the jury was unable to agree on a verdict. Villegas had a retrial and the jury returned a guilty verdict and he was given a life sentence. After spending 18 years in prison, the verdict was thrown out and Villegas remained out on bond where he got married and started a family. But now we're in the 3rd trial.
If the defendant will please stand.
This is the moment that Villegas will find out if he'll go home with his family or be sent back to prison to serve his life sentence.
The state of Texas versus Daniel Villegas. Verdict form B. We, the jury, find the defendant Daniel Villegas not guilty of...
Good, man. He just done 18 years for no reason.
Villegas is now a free man.
You are no
Sue the
longer
state.
under any conditions. You are free to leave. Thank you.
Oh my God.
Villegas has
Half his
filed a
life gone.
lawsuit against the city of El Paso.
The city?
This
Take
is
Texas
Austin
down.
Myers and Timothy Mosley. They were both convicted of murdering 18-year-old Justin Back in Waynesville, Ohio. The two men, Myers and Mosley, went to Back's house in an attempt to rob a safe that belonged to his father. During the robbery, Back was strangled with a choke wire.
The idea of strangling them, that way it would create no mess, pretty much be an easier job to handle. Obviously, Justin was trying to put up a fight, and he wasn't overpowering us.
Justin Back was then stabbed 21 times
21?
until he died.
Justin was trying to ask us why. He was pleading to stop and pretty much begging for his life.
On trial, Mosley testified against Myers to obtain a plea bargain, where he pled guilty and was sentenced to life in prison. Finally, for Myers, he takes the stand in front of the jury, asking them to spare his life for his family in hopes of avoiding the death sentence.
Anybody gonna
He
spare your
chooses to
family?
die. It's only going to cause more pain and suffering for another family. Not
So?
me. It won't hurt me. I won't feel anything. It's going to hurt more innocent people.
This is now the father of Justin Back speaking.
I'm not going to stand up here and tell you how much I hate you. That is without question. I would just hope that every time you close your eyes at night, you see my son, Justin.
After the jury recommended the death sentence, this is Myers' last chance to plead for his life in front of the judge.
I think there's a lot of good things I can do with my life if you allow me to keep my life.
And the judge doesn't buy it. He hands down the
Facts.
maximum sentence.
The defendant does not understand how precious life is. Therefore, the sentence of death shall be imposed upon Austin Gregory Myers on the charge of aggravated murder.
Nothing but a slight nod. At just 19 years old, this made Myers the youngest Ohio individual to be put on death row. He is currently awaiting his execution at Chillicothe Correctional Institution.
There were so many lives destroyed by this, and it was just for nothing. I mean, there was no money in the safe. There was nothing in there. They did this for basically nothing.
Wow, no
This
money in the
is
safe.
Michael Swanson, who was 17 when he went on a killing spree of 2 Iowa gas station attendees in the span of an hour.
Where did you shoot? On the body? Yeah. And in the face? In the face? Okay. Why in the face? I thought I was just gonna shoot to injure her. Why would I shoot her at all?
Swanson entered a gas station in Algano, Iowa, in a ski mask and a handgun, demanding cash and cigarettes from 47-year-old Vicky Bowman Hall. Despite following the request without hesitation, Swanson still shot and killed her. An hour later, in Humboldt, Iowa, Swanson repeated the same act in another gas station, this time killing Sheila Myers. He was arrested 60 miles away from the shooting when authorities identified his vehicle. With both victims following his request but were killed anyways, it indicated that murder was Swanson's primary goal.
How did it feel when you pulled the trigger? I mean, some people say that, it feels powerful or that it's kind of a rush, or what did you feel when you pulled the trigger? I felt powerful.
Swanson was charged
Lock
with
him
2
up
counts of
for
first-degree
life.
murder and 2 counts of burglary. All allegations of Swanson's motives were answered by himself.
I then intentionally, deliberately, and with premeditation shot the clerk, causing her to die. I did this with a specific intent to kill her.
Now, as one of the victim's daughters gives a victim impact statement, Swanson sits completely emotionless.
How could you do what you did to my mom and my family? I want to know if you're even sorry. Are you sorry for what you did?
He's not sorry.
My mom was not only completely 100% innocent, but she was also a defenseless woman when you came in with that gun. You said you did it for cigarettes and money and so no one could identify you, but I think that's a lie. You did it, as you later said on, that it was so you could feel powerful.
As Swanson was sentenced, he smiled and laughed.
Cold-blooded murder.
Bro is a weirdo.
Young man. You are dangerous. You are unpredictable. Prison for the rest of your life.
Swanson was given 2 life sentences, and 4 years into his sentence, he slit another inmate's throat.
See, people like that, that's where life ain't good enough for people like that. I ain't gonna lie, you just gotta wipe them out. that day, the day that the judge sentenced him to life sentence, they should have just lined him up, gave the daughters, a weapon, and let them take justice. That's what I think. That's the best justice. Let them get their lick back. Cause for him going to life, just doing time, he went in there and murdered somebody else. Man, get that boy up out of here. He looked like a serial killer. I'm telling you, man, the gas station is one of the most dangerous places to be. And it's unfortunate them two ladies had their life taken. They gave him what he wanted, and he still took their life. Can't have no respect for people like that, man. I'm sorry. You're lying.
This is Bryce Rhodes,
who
I've
seen
is
this story.
currently on trial for 3 counts of murder in Louisville, Kentucky. Rhodes reportedly begun his killing spree when he shot and killed an innocent man, mistaking him for another individual. 2 brothers, a 16-year-old and a 14-year-old, were in the car when Rhodes committed the murder. Because they were witnesses to the crime, a few weeks later, Rhodes killed those teenagers as well.
You coach these kids at all? They're cool. We play basketball. I'm cool with a lot of people.
Did you hang out with them on a regular basis?
It was cool. Yeah, we hung at different times, I need a lawyer, man, if you're gonna keep all in my face.
Trials have been going on for years due to Rhodes' erratic behavior, starting with blowing kisses to people in the courtroom, which included the family of the victims, and next, making hand gestures.
Ma'am, look at me, ma'am! Mr. Rhodes, you're smiling. I don't know why you're smiling.
Because I can. It's not a crime to smile.
I would suggest you do what helps you, not what hurts you.
Okay. Do what I want to do. Let's get that understood.
Rhodes once had to wear a spit mask because he spit on this attorney.
Nice cheap shot. You a coward. Nice cheap shot. You a coward.
Now, in another court appearance, Rhodes makes some bizarre accusations towards the judge.
I don't know if y'all got some type of sexual relationship going on. Are you some type of racist? Which one is it?
Or are you just wrong in everything that you've made a motion for?
Are you a secret Ku Klux Klan member?
Bro, you cannot
With Rhodes'
represent
in-court
him.
behavior being out of control and him firing several of his lawyers, the trial has been extended much longer than expected. With it still in action, it's safe to say that Rhodes will not be back on the streets anytime soon.
What's wrong with that nigga head?
This is Antonio Barbeau, who with his best friend Nathan Pop brutally murdered his great-grandmother in an attempted robbery in Sheboygan County, Wisconsin.
We got in, and then I looked to Nate, he nodded, and then I took the first swing.
Okay, and when you say that you took the first swing is with the hand axe?
Yes, sir.
The boys, who were both only 13 at the time, had intended to sneak up at his great-grandmother's and rob her, but upon showing up at the house, they were spotted and invited inside. She was attacked with a hatchet and a hammer, ultimately being struck at least 27 times until she died.
She started heading into the living room falling.
And as she was falling, did you strike her again?
I hit one more time as she was falling.
At any point, did you not have the hand axe during this incident?
Right after that, Nate took it and he used it, the blade side of it.
You said that he took off the sweater. By that, do you mean the sweater that you had given him?
Yes.
Why did he do that?
I think because it was getting in the way.
Getting in the way of what?
Him swinging.
They then stole $155 in cash and some jewelry before stealing the car and ditching it at a local bowling alley, hoping to frame someone else for the crime. A few days later, both boys were arrested. Now in court, Barbeau takes the stand to testify.
We were going to try to scare her to get money and then use force if needed.
And when you say use force if needed, was there a discussion about what type of force you might use?
An attack, I guess to kill.
Barbeau pleaded no contest to first-degree intentional homicide as part of a plea deal, where he was sentenced to life in prison with eligibility for parole in 36 years, where he would then be 50 years old. In his final statement, his lawyer had to finish his thoughts.
I know I don't show my emotions much. I myself am not sure why, but that doesn't mean I don't.
I took away someone's
Bro, that's
mother,
an act, bro.
grandma, sister, friend, when I had no right to do so.
Pop was sentenced to life in prison as well, but with a chance of parole when he's 45 years old.
And I know there's some people out there, all y'all be like, well, they deserve a second chance. They just kids. They were kids when they done that. People make mistakes. No, they don't make those type of mistakes. That's not a mistake. That's not a mistake. Bro, that's your great grandma. If you would have asked her for the money, I bet she would have gave it to you. But instead, y'all wanted to rob her and kill her. Yo, great grandma, like, how does that make you feel? See, the judge, you wrong for this too. Let me tell you why. Because you sentenced them both to life. I think both of them got parole. That's not the point. You should have lined them up too and got them up out of there. Got them up out of there. Come on, man. We need to change this justice system. An eye for an eye. That's the way it should be. An eye for an eye.
This is Christopher McNabb, who is facing charges for the murder of his 2-week-old child in Covington, Georgia. After the child's mother reported the baby missing to police, local law enforcement immediately launched a search. Later that night, McNabb is seen in front of TV cameras begging for his child back.
I want my kid back, man. That's my child, man. I want my kid, man.
The next day, the child's body was found in a nearby wooded area. The cause of death was blunt force trauma to the head, which was later ruled a homicide. McNabb was arrested and charged with the murder of his own 2-week-old baby. After he was found guilty, we now move on to the sentencing. McNabb can then be heard claiming his innocence.
I'm innocent. I didn't do it. I've maintained that the whole time. I would never do this. That's all I got to say. I would never do it. I'm innocent.
And now the judge lets McNabb unknowingly choose his own sentence.
You claim you're innocent, so you tell me what sentence the man or woman that you claim did this should receive.
If you ever find out who did them, they deserve to be under the jail.
Okay, so they ought to get the maximum sentence.
Most definitely.
Okay. On the crime of malice murder, I sentence you to life in confinement without parole. On concealing the death of another, I sentence you to...
After McNabb was handed down the max sentence, he was moved to Hayes State Prison in Tryon, Georgia, where he is serving his life sentence.
Bro, if you can take the life of your own child, you don't deserve to be here. I'm sorry. You brought that child into this world, and then you decide to take them out. I'm sorry. You don't get that second option. You don't get a chance to take them out. That's not how it works. You bring them into this world, and you love them. You do for them. You raise them the right way, but you don't take them out, especially a baby. Helpless, defenseless. The judge messed up. The judge was funny. Yeah, throwing you under the jail. But the judge messed up. What's supposed to happen is they're supposed to line you up too, along with all them other people, and take you out. Take you out. An eye for an eye, man. I believe in that. I used to not believe in that, but now I'm starting to believe in it. Because there's too much evil out here, man. You people just killing people for no reason. No reason. That being said, man, I'm gonna stop here. Y'all be safe out there, man. Pay attention to y'all surroundings and be smooth how y'all be smooth. To the next video, man. Peace.